Imagine waking up to police banging on your door. No explanation, no crime, no trial. You're handcuffed, taken away, stripped, numbered, humiliated. And the worst part? All of it was done by scientists, legally, with volunteers. What happened in the days that followed became so disturbing that the experiment had to be shut down urgently, because ordinary people began turning into something far darker. This is the story of the Stanford Prison Experiment, the study that showed how anyone can become a monster. In 1971, psychologist Philip Zimbardo wanted to answer a disturbing question. Why do ordinary people commit atrocities when given power? Soldiers in wars, guards in prisons, authorities in authoritarian regimes. Were they already evil, or did the system transform them? To find out, he decided to create an artificial prison inside Stanford University. A controlled environment, safe, scientific, or at least that's what he believed. He recruited 24 healthy university students, no criminal records, no psychological disorders, ordinary young men. Each was paid $15 per day. It seemed easy, but none of them had any idea what was about to happen. The participants were randomly divided. Half would become prisoners, half would become guards. The guards received uniforms, mirrored sunglasses, and batons. The prisoners received only simple clothing and a number. No names, no identity. But the experiment began even before they arrived at the university. Real police were involved. The prisoners were arrested in their own homes, handcuffed in front of neighbors, searched, placed into police cars, taken to a real police station, and then transferred to the simulated prison. When they arrived, they were forced to strip completely, undergo disinfection procedures, wear humiliating clothing, and have chains placed on their ankles. Every detail was designed to destroy their sense of autonomy. They were no longer students. They were numbers. The guards were not instructed to be violent. They were given only one order: maintain order. But something unexpected happened. Within hours, their behavior began to change. The guards started waking prisoners in the middle of the night, forcing exhausting physical exercises, applying arbitrary punishments. Humiliation became routine. Some prisoners were forced to clean toilets with their bare hands. Others were made to repeat their numbers for hours, without resistance, without questioning. The guards began to display increasing sadism, and no one forced them. Power alone seemed to be enough. After only 36 hours, one prisoner suffered a severe psychological breakdown. He screamed, cried uncontrollably, begged to be released. At first, the researchers believed he was faking, but he wasn't. Others soon began showing signs of extreme anxiety and depression. Some stopped reacting altogether. The most disturbing part: many began to obey automatically, even when they could have resisted, as if they truly believed they deserved it. Some prisoners even turned against fellow prisoners to gain favor with the guards. The system was working, perhaps too well. The experiment was supposed to last 2 weeks, but the situation was spiraling out of control. The guards were becoming increasingly cruel, the prisoners increasingly submissive. Most disturbing of all, Zimbardo himself stopped acting like a scientist. He began acting like the prison's superintendent, until a young visiting researcher entered the facility. She was horrified and asked a simple question. Do you realize this has become real abuse? It was the shock they needed. After only 6 days, the experiment was terminated. The study left behind a deeply unsettling conclusion. It's not only bad people who do terrible things. Sometimes context, power, and the absence of limits are enough to transform anyone. Ordinary men became abusers. Ordinary young men became submissive victims. And all of this happened in less than a week. Perhaps the most frightening part isn't what they did, but the fact that, under similar circumstances, anyone might do the same.